Ever feel like you're constantly chasing the next big thing online? Like 1 minute you're figuring out TikTok, and suddenly everyone's talking about some new platform. It's like a never-ending game of catch-up. Right, it can be overwhelming. Building a smarter online presence. We're going to call it like a digital diversification strategy. I like that, diversification. That's about not putting all your eggs in one basket, you know? And I found this awesome guide. Chapter 4 is all about this. Ooh, Chapter 4, getting strategic. This got me thinking way differently about how we approach being online. So it's not just about being on every platform then. Exactly. It's more about being smart about it. Makes sense. You can't just be everywhere, spreading yourself thin. Gotta have a plan. Totally. And the guide emphasizes, like, before you even think about new platforms, you gotta assess where you're at right now. Take stock. Look in the mirror, so to speak. Yeah, but it's deeper than that. The author suggests using analytics, of course, to measure things. But it's not just about vanity metrics, like how many followers you have, right? It's got to be meaningful data. Exactly. It's about digging into what content's actually working, and what's resonating, what's driving engagement, figuring out what your audience actually wants. There's this idea of a content inventory too. What's that? Like a spreadsheet of everything you've posted? Imagine your whole online presence is your wardrobe. Okay. I'm getting a lot of clothes right now. Right. So this is like taking everything out, trying it on, seeing what fits, what's outdated. Before you go on a shopping spree for a new platform, that's the perfect analogy. So you're saying, step 1, understand what you've got before you add more. Yep. And just like with shopping, you don't just wander aimlessly. You need a list. Purpose. Goals. I like where this is going. This is where setting smart goals comes in. So we're not just saying, get more followers. Nope. It's got to be more specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. So instead of get more followers, it's like increase engagement on Instagram by 15% in the next quarter. Exactly. That level of detail. In other words, how do you know if your efforts are actually paying off? Totally. This part made me realize I've been kind of winging it online. The guide then goes into choosing the right platform. That's where it gets interesting. There are so many factors to consider. Yeah, not just jumping on the latest trend. Right. It's about asking yourself some key questions first. Like, where's your audience actually hanging out? Yep. And what kind of content are you best at creating? Don't force yourself to do video if you rock at writing. Totally. Yeah. Play to your strengths. And this won't be a buzzkill, but do you even have the resources to do it all? Oof. Yeah, that's real. Time, skills, even budget for some platforms. Can't bring yourself out. It's about being honest with yourself. But here's what I find fascinating. Even with all these different platforms, the guide stresses a unified brand voice. Oh, that's interesting. So even though you're adapting to different platforms, there's still a core you. Exactly. Imagine your brand is a person at a party. Okay, I can see that. They act a little different depending on who they're talking to, but their core personality still comes through. I love that. Yeah, so you'd be playful on Instagram, professional on LinkedIn. Yeah, it's still recognizably you. Precisely. This is where brand guidelines become crucial. They lay out your brand's personality, tone, key messages, even visual style. So it's about that consistency, even as you adapt to each platform's vibe. Yeah, it's about building trust with your audience. When they see that consistency, about authenticity, they know what to expect. And that makes them more likely to stick around. Exactly. Now, the guy also talks about cross-platform storytelling. Is that like starting a story on Instagram and continuing it on Twitter? Yeah, I think that's one way to do it. It's like creating this thread that connects everything together. It pulls your audience along, keeps them engaged across all your platforms, and it reinforces your message at the same time. Clever, or super clever. And ultimately, it's all about creating a deeper connection with your audience, making them feel like they're part of something bigger. It's about building that sense of community, that shared experience that makes you realize this stuff applies even if you're not like running a huge company. Right. It's relevant for anyone building an online presence, even personally. Think about it. We all have different groups we connect with online. Yeah, you talk to your friends differently when you talk to, say, your boss on LinkedIn, but it's still authentic with you. It is. It's like diversifying your skills, your interests, not putting all your eggs in one basket, digitally speaking. I love that. So what if your favorite platform shuts down tomorrow? Exactly. Or the algorithm changes and suddenly no one sees your stuff. You ought to be adaptable. This chapter really hit home for me that diversification isn't a one-time thing. It's ongoing, always evolving, like tending a garden. You weed, water, prune, keep things thriving, not just surviving. And online, there's always something new popping up. It can be a lot, definitely. But with a solid strategy, a clear why behind your diversification, it becomes less overwhelming. We've covered a lot of ground today, from taking stock to smart goals, choosing platforms, even this idea of a unified brand voice. It's all connected, though, right? It is, building towards a strong, lasting presence online, which is so crucial in today's world. Absolutely. Out of all this, what really stuck with you? That's a good question. For me, it's the smart goals thing. I've been so guilty of just like hoping for the best, not actually measuring what's working. It's easy to get swept up in the excitement of new trends. Oh, for sure. Shiny object syndrome is real. But without those specific, measurable goals, you're just spinning your wheels. Makes me want to go do a content inventory right now. Yeah, see what's actually resonating. Yeah. Where are you? Anything else stand up? I think for me, it was the cross-platform storytelling. It really sparked my imagination. Oh, yeah. Tell me more. This idea of creating a story that unfolds across different platforms, pulling your audience along on a journey. Ooh, I like that. It's a powerful way to engage people, build a deeper connection. It's almost like, but more is your own adventure experience for your audience. They get to engage on their own terms. Exactly. And with each touch point, you're reinforcing your message, deepening that relationship that goes beyond just posting random stuff. It's about being strategic, intentional. Each piece of content has a purpose. Speaking of content, all this talk about tailoring it for different platforms has me thinking about the next chapter in this guide. Oh yeah, chapter 5, that's where it gets really hands-on. Content creation, baby. All about the nitty-gritty. Specific strategies for different platforms, audiences, styles. It's like learning a new language for each one. Or in fact, you wouldn't talk the same way in a business meeting as you would at a party. So chapter 5 is going to give us the tools to become fluent in, like digital diversification. I love that. Fluent in diversification. It's going to be exciting if you let me learn. My brain's already buzzing with ideas like short videos for TikTok, longer articles for my blog, maybe even try those polls on Instagram. The possibilities are endless. And chapter 5 is like our roadmap, right? To help us think about content strategically. Totally. It's like, imagine a master chef is going to teach us how to make this amazing multi-course meal. Ooh, I like that analogy. Each dish perfectly tailored to the guests, right? Exactly. We're going to learn the ingredients, the techniques, the presentation to make each piece of content like a delicious experience. Makes me hungry. Because seriously, this is about taking things to a whole new level. It feels like we're on the verge of something big here. It is an exciting time to be guiding into all this digital stuff. And thanks to chapter 4, we've got a solid foundation. We're ready to navigate this crazy online world. So, to everyone listening, are you ready to take the next step? Chapter 5, here they come. It's all about content creation for diverse platforms. We're going to unpack all the secrets, all the strategies to help you create amazing content that really connects with people and amplifies your message. Don't miss it. We'll be back soon with even more juicy insights and discussions. Until then, keep experimenting, keep creating, and keep diversifying that online presence of yours.